So welcome everybody. This is going to be my first audio commentary on a race video. It's for the CSCC Turbo Tin Tops a couple of weeks ago at Donnington. My eldest son said if I want to do a proper race video, then it's got to be it's got to have audio commentary to tell people what's happening. So we're going to have a crack at it and see how it goes. So qualifying for the event was pretty good. Really happy with it actually. So I ended up 10th in class. 10th overall, 4th in class, which I was really pleased with, considering it's a grid of about 35 cars. And we start as usual with the CSCC on a rolling start at Donnington, which is always a lot of fun. So next to me, I've got that fast black Mini of Charlie, who I know I've got to look out for from the beginning. So, and see if I can chase down the Harris Selby Fiesta in front of me. I know it's really quick. So here we go. Let's go. So I know I've got to go into this first corner. I've got to go really defensive of Charlie, because I know I raced against him at Spa and I know he's very, very quick. Unfortunately, that does compromise me coming out where I'm still in 4th and I don't really have the pull. He kind of gets on the inside of me. Got to give him some space and a grain of curves. You don't want any accidents down there. Carry on to the fast left, and then he's got the inside line there. So unfortunately, I lost that place there. But I've got some good drive coming up the hill, so I try and follow him and see if I can make some good pace to keep close to him and see if anything happens. Also got a really fast Clio behind me, so I'm conscious of trying to catch Charlie while also keeping a view in my rear mirror to see what that Clio's up to as well. Some good close racing. See all 4 of us, so the Fiesta, the Mini, myself in my Peugeot and the Clio behind, are pretty evenly matched in terms of pace. So which always makes for good fun racing. Great move by Charlie there, throwing up the inside. And this is where I think, right, here's my chance. Obviously I forced the Fiesta a little bit wide, see if I can get some good drive up the hill. Got some good pace. Let's see if we can put it up the inside, but I think that's a definite no. It's pushed me a little bit onto the grass, but nothing untoward. So some close racing there, some real good fun. Then have to go defensive because of this clear, and then also there's a Golf coming up the inside, so 2 of them now. So kind of compromised me because I didn't get past the Fiesta. Kind of compromised for the rest of that lap, and I've lost a bit of pace, but managed to cover them off going into that last chicane. The mission is now, can I get back up to the rear of that Fiesta and make another move? Now I know I've normally got good pace and drive coming out of this corner here, so I think let's have another go, but let's do it differently. Let's see if we go the other side. Starts cover it off, then leaves a little gap, and I thought I'm having that, I'm going for it. So squeeze it in, get on the power early as early as I can, and come out the corner. A good overtake there, I was pleased with that one. if you noticed there, but started to hit the limiter, what's happening is the car's actually starting to overheat, which isn't great news. So yeah, what's happening on certain parts of the circuit, the limiter kicks in to make sure I can't rev high. And because of that, I have to start managing it already in the race, lift and coast or changing up early. So you can notice that as you go along and hear the order of that limiter kicking in, and then I had to kind of change the driving style, which is a bit of a shame. So then start to lose obviously drive, and the time starts to drop a bit, and it happens quite early in the race, which is a real shame. But I then had to start to manage that. Too bad again now. It does get worse as the race goes on. So it no longer becomes a choice of trying to catch Charlie. It's more, can I manage it and keep cars behind me? Limiter again, and you can see the Clio's able to pull right up on me and then look to make a move. There, I should have really gone a bit more defensive, but I was just concerned by the overheating. That limiter's still kicking in. So short shifting down the straight. Yeah, and it's now kicking in down the Craner curves, which is bit of concern, so I'm actually having to put it up to fifth, lift or put it into fifth going round, which is, never normally do. It's a fourth set of corners there, so quite frustrating. And you can see the Clio, because of that, start to open up a little bit of a gap. gone off at the end there, so a bit of a yellow flag. They're pretty good at Donnington at getting those cars cleared pretty quickly. Being a complete novice a couple of years ago, I remember when I first did the Craner curves, which is I'll point them out in the next lap, but the corners we just passed through, where you do a right, a left drop down, and then what's called old hairpin, which is then a right up the hill. And basically, it's very scary when you first do it, and you've got to throw it in and just floor it. Certainly on old hairpin, and it will hold, but you kind of, your mind takes over and thinks this is never going to stick, but it does. So coming up some back markers here with one of the four Pumas. Shows it's actually a relatively short lap compared to other circuits. This is the Craner curves. We have the right. You're still trying to go flat out. Normally, sometimes flat out into that left, depending how brave you are. And a quick brake and throw it in, and you're kind of sliding it up through that corner up the hill and power on as early as you can, and you get some really good drive up the hill. Another Puma, trying to get past him as quick as I can before the chicane. Bit of an issue there for the Blue Leon on the left. Yeah, so I've now got, I think it's the Golf behind me. And yeah, we've got a double yellow, we've got two cars off, and there's actually a lot of oil dropped there. First I thought there was something wrong with my car because it slid all over the place, and I thought I'd done some suspension damage or something wrong with the tyres. But it was oil, and it took a couple of laps to kind of realise that until the flags came out. But yeah, obviously something happened between those two cars that caused that accident, and obviously then the oil. So because that safety car's come out, I hadn't had my pit stop, so perfect opportunity. Safety car comes out, get in those pits, and if you get lucky and not held at the end of the pitch, you can get a pit stop, without losing as much time as others. So straight in the pits, double up the speed because it's not so interesting. So we go through here and see the cameraman turns around, gets me. So I'm on the live stream, just getting in and out of my car. Yeah, for this series, it's a not timed pit stop. It's basically you unstrap, get out of the car, shut the door, turn the engine off first, and then get back in and strap yourself in and go. So that it's effectively as quick as you can for this series in the turbo tin tops. So back out, we're still under safety car. So it's now without going too fast, but trying to catch up to the back of the safety car train. Obviously being very mindful of all the traffic, so we'll speed up a bit here because obviously no racing. as we catch up with the back of that safety car train. I'm quite a bit way behind it, in all honesty. I think it was not far behind me when I came out the pit, so there's a bit of catching up to, but of course you've got to do it safely and at the right reduced speed. It's also a good opportunity for the car to cool. So I was quite pleased about this, really. Well, you only went it for a couple of laps, but it meant the car could get a bit of cooling before we went going again. And hopefully we'll try and fix the overheating issue with the rev limiter kicking in. So starting to catch up the safety car train, I could see the cars in front as we started to bunch up. There we go, back in the train. And actually that was good timing, because as soon as I reached it, at the end of this lap we start again, which actually caught me a bit off guard. I thought, right, I've caught it again now. Great, let's set in. Don't need to be right up anyone's behind and close. But then I saw the green lights there on the left, and I thought, oh good, let's get going, but I've got to catch them up pretty quickly. Now you've got the challenge of the cars in front. It's quite difficult to tell, are you racing them or are you lapping them? I mean, a Puma, they're in a different series, and obviously the cars are slower, so I know I'm lapping him, so get past him pretty quickly. But some of the cars in front seem a bit quick, so it's quite hard to tell, are you lap ahead through, luck of the safety car, or are you actually racing these guys? And the same for them as you kind of catch up with them. They don't know a lot of the time, are they letting you through because you're lapping them, or are they actually racing them? So it can be a bit problematic if you're a lap ahead and trying to get past them, which we'll see in a minute. So lots of battles going ahead, these two minis going at it, and I think this black one then goes off. Yeah, it does, there you go. So also you want to get past these cars as quickly as possible, the ones you're lapping obviously, but obviously they're battling, so sometimes you just got to give them a bit of space and just make sure you pick the right moment, because you don't want to get caught in that the middle of that battle and end up being hit by mistake or blocked. Of course you want to get past as quickly as possible because you don't want to lose any time here. So quickly past the Puma. Oh, and then Fiat 500R Bath has got off, overcooked it, so let's quickly get past the 208. Abreast there in front. Yeah, so they're having this their own squabble, and you've got to be mindful of this. I know that I'm lapping these cars because the RX-8s are further behind the field, Mazdas. So you just got to be careful when they're having their own battle. This Mini doesn't seem to want to let me pass, which is fine. He probably doesn't know. it's not really getting out of the way, but just got to be careful going through these bits. Don't want any accidents with any back markers. Right, so I'm now behind the blue Fiesta that I was behind before, and I thought I was fighting for position here, so really keen to try and catch up and overtake if I could. It turns out actually wasn't. They were a lap down because they got a bit unlucky with the pitting before the safety car, but I didn't know this at the time. Yeah, we switched cameras because the dash GoPro overheats. It tends to do that as it's in the sun. It very rarely could do a full race. So here we go, trying to make a move on the Fiesta. Very defensive, blocks my way round. Just got compromised coming there with the Mini, couldn't get past that Mini, so lost a little bit of time to the Fiesta. And then here I'm hitting the limiter again as the car's overheating. So unfortunately I have to start backing off, and here you go, and that's when the other Mini, I think that the other Mini comes past, and then also the Golf. I just can't hold them off because I now keep hitting the limiter. There we go. So up shifting to 5th rank, Craner Kurds. lost a couple of places there. Although to be fair, they are, well, certainly the Scirocco is a faster car. Yeah, but I just couldn't keep the pace with the overheating. Lost a bit of time there on the Fiesta with those cars passing. I'm now going through this last chicane in 4th gear. So you see I'm a bit slower to get away, whereas normally I'd be in 3rd gear, but I can't go into 3rd gear, I just hit the limiter and overheat. Lots of limiter hitting action there, which is not great. I think that was a bit of contact between the two cars in front, the Scirocco and the Golf there. And you see there the Golf just pulling around the straight because I'm in that 4th gear, don't have the drive out of that corner anymore. To say, nursing it home for the rest of the race now. So I'm starting to get closer to the Fiesta, thinking whether I can have one last go before the end of the race. Car 208's a lap down, kindly let me through. I just can't get close enough to the Fiesta with the obviously overheating and the limiter kicking in. Pulls away down this main straight. Compromised myself there, not getting past that Puma very well. Went a bit wide and slow, so lost what I gained really on the Fiesta, and that's the timer going off in the car saying that effectively the 40 minutes. So you'd expect at the end of this lap that the checker flag is probably out. So I kind of knew that's it. I haven't really got the chance to reel in this Fiesta anymore. And that's the checker flag. All done. So I finished 7th and 2nd in class, and I was up to 4th at one point, but I was really chuffed with that, having only been racing for a couple of years, and before that with no experience in terms of track driving, so really happy with that.